Good morning, Deacon.
Hello.
Now, am I too loud?
No, I was too close to the camera. I was changing my light at the last second.
Good morning. I made the intro shorter, and then I made it a little longer.
It's all right. I like it. I like the music.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Good morning, sir.
Hello. Happy Election Day.
Yes. Happy Armageddon. How are you?
My name may mean and may not mean anything today, so I don't know. It's how you take it.
Okay. Deacon,
I have coffee for the first time in over a week.
Oh, yeah. You haven't been able to drink coffee.
Well, I have, but I just didn't want to kind of tease it, with the acidity level. Yeah, coffee's not one that you want to mess with when your stomach's messing up. So I've been, for the past 3 or 4 days, I've been had this insatiable appetite. So I've been trying to eat a little bit and not kind of gorge myself.
Right.
And I told my doctor that yesterday, and the doctor is very happy about that. I've lost 20 pounds since August.
Holy crap.
I have lost a total of 50.
That's all water. You dehydrated.
Well, no, this is since August. This is all not being able to eat.
3 months or so.
Yeah, still messed up. But I've lost 50 pounds since the beginning of this year. November of this year, or January of this year, I think I weighed close to 200 pounds. I'm like 163 now. So
Lean.
I know it's been tough. Shape. It's been no. And she said yesterday that I'm still technically, my body mass index and all this, or my whatever. Yeah. And she said, technically, you're still fine. She said, you're still fine, technically, according to these numbers. But my whole life, I've never been, this
skinny.
Yeah. And
would you say skinny? Weird. Do you feel skinny?
Yeah. No, I feel sickly. Yeah. I don't feel skinny. I feel sick. I feel sickly looking. So no. If I could tone up and maybe feel a little bit better, I might feel skinny, but I've never felt skinny. I was the fat kid in school my entire life.
Yeah, right.
I was I was the fat kid. Yeah. So that's what I was. And so I've still got that mental.
Your self frame and how you imagine yourself, that doesn't change just because
just because I've lost a bunch of weight. Yeah, it doesn't change how I feel about myself. Yeah. All right. So what's up? Yeah. So I'm drinking coffee, and so we'll see how this goes this morning.
All right.
I like your shirt. What does your shirt say?
Dad of girls.
It's awesome.
Hashtag outnumbered. I have 2 girls, a wife, and a dog that's all female. So I'm
That's very true.
I don't win any fights in this house.
No. When Kendra and Ashley start, me and Alex just kind of slink back like this and disappear.
Yeah. Hide. Agree and hide.
So
good morning, everybody. No, I voted like 10 days ago.
Oh, that's right. You voted a while ago.
Yeah, I voted a while ago. And
I'm driving by all the little precincts this morning. I drove by 2, and there were folks out waiting before the
traffic is going to be crazy.
Well, I live in a little town, so.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be good, though? Wouldn't it be good if instead of being able to vote like for a month or whatever, we all got to vote today, but we all took the day off, nobody worked, and we had like a bunch more precincts open. And since people wouldn't have to work today, then if you wanted to go like observe and do your civic duty and make sure there was no shenanigans.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was trying to find something.
That would be good.
There was something I saw on YouTube or on Reddit, and I thought I just saw it again this morning, where a person in Pennsylvania had tried to go vote. Okay, so this is what it says. It says, so I decided to vote because the situation in Pennsylvania is real dicey. I mailed in my ballot last week, but got a call today that there was an issue. Went to the city hall to fix it, and this was the scene. And it's got a picture of a long line of people coming out the door. And it said, um, the cops kicked a bunch of people out of line. So I guess that's it.
I mean,
so he goes to City Hall to fix this error with his mail-in ballot. And when he gets there, there's a lot of people that are standing in line there. And there's so much confusion that the cops just make everybody get out of line and go, just leave, just go away. And so he don't get to fix anything. And his vote, is it counted or is it pointless? So
well, I mean, like the whole mail-in ballot thing. I mean, I get it from the idea of being a convenience, especially for people that are like not able to get around or not
right.
able to
Yeah,
go be around where people are.
absolutely. You're going to be out of town or you're going to be gone.
But
Yeah.
think about the rest of it. One, there's no security. I mean, the security there is pretend. You know, the security is, oh, we put it in an envelope and seal, and it's sealed. It's a security envelope. That's garbage. You get an iron, you get some steam, your security envelope is opened. And it's not like, oh, that nobody does that. No, there's entire operations that collect mail-in ballots and then go and steam them open and make sure you voted the right way or make sure you filled in all the right spots. And then they go in and they mark them. They mark the ones you didn't fill, or they, if you voted for the wrong candidate, you know, they'll mark the right candidate, and that spoils the ballot, which makes it not count for who you got. So mail-in ballot. And how about this? If you're voting for federal office, you're going to take mail-in ballots and put it in the hands of mailmen that are federal employees and then trust them to get it to where it's supposed to go. There's a whole lot of problems with mail. And then you have like, oh, your ballot didn't come in right, or your ballot was misprinted before you got it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of problems. I mean, like a lot of these problems would be solved if like you just carry your ass to the election. You know, if we had a day off and everybody got to go, we had more election sites open and staffed them with people that are not working that day. So, you know, we could solve all of these problems like super easy.
Yeah, but the staff at those sites, I mean, you've got to watch those as well because one of our very good listeners or watchers, viewers, whatever we call them, Brian, what did he say this morning? I'm trying to find it here.
He said he was training people a couple of days ago for like hours or something.
Yeah, and there was one he said this morning, I thought that was like,
he said,
spent last 2 hours educating one of the election supervisors on code of conduct. Should be fun tomorrow. Expecting 1,500 to 2,000 people at his location. God bless you, man. I hope if Brian's watching,
he's doing that as a public service.
Yeah,
but you know what? Hey,
yeah.
Deacon, can you just ditch work today and go do public service?
No.
And right? None of us can.
No, I can't.
No. So like, but if we could, you know, maybe we could get a little bit more civic engagement. Maybe we would encounter more people that we don't necessarily agree with and do the same work of like, look, we're all here to make sure everything's cool and everybody follows the rules. There would be less shenanigans. There'd be more interaction with people you don't know, so people you don't cross over with normally. We would build better civics. But no, you know, we want to make it easy for people to mail their ballot in or whatever. And then you have to trust the system. And guess what?
Yeah.
If it can be cheated, guys, I know you listen. Whoever is out there watching, I know you went to high school. And in the back of your mind, you're like, nobody cheats at elections. Okay. Did anybody cheat in math class when you were in high school? Because those people are still out there, and it was everybody. It was you know throughout the course of your school, you've seen everybody cheat at once, at least once. So don't think that people won't take the easy way if they can. You don't have to trust the poll workers if you go there and watch the poll workers. You could just watch them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to get caught." So anyway, I don't know. We're not solving these problems today, but. Anyway, so today's not only election day, Deacon. Today is a full moon. Did you know that?
Ooh, is it
Ooh,
what is it? Is it the blood moon?
It is also the blood moon.
Is it
So
really?
yes, so we have a full moon, election day, and the sun and planet Earth lined up to send a message to everybody to vote red.
Harvest moon. Oh, good God. The harvest moon. Yeah, I didn't think the harvest moon that came this early in November, but it's early this year. No, it's not the harvest moon. That's in September. The beaver moon is in November. Okay.
I actually got up early and went and looked at the blood moon.
Hmm.
I've never seen it before. It's cool. It's
Never seen a
actually
blood moon?
red.
Yeah, it's
No,
red. It's straight up red.
right?
Yeah, that
Yes.
meant
It's a message from.
what did that mean for pirates? That blood was spilled on the water that night? What
Is
is
that, is that what it means?
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably
I
some
was thinking the best people to ask would be astrologers. So I had a page here where, yeah, Rolling
you ever
Stone
talked to
had,
an astrologer? Oh,
yeah. I mean, don't you think? Don't you think if you want to get the best news possible about during an election season on a blood moon, you should ask a bunch of astrologers.
absolutely.
So that's what I have right here.
Let's see
I
your
got a
see your ley line. Where's your line at, JJ?
yeah.
Hold
Here's
your
my this is my which hand is it? Does it matter? They
Oh,
don't match.
I think you're
See
going
this
to
my left palm has got two vertical lines here, and my right palm has like one vertical line here and then like another line, but it kind of stops. So
that
they're not
means
the same. So which one is the right one?
this one is the right one.
That's your left.
This is my right.
Is your camera flipped?
No, maybe. Is it?
Wait, hold on. This is my right. That's my right. This is my right.
I know. I'm just.
Oh boy.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
drink some more coffee. We're doing a great job this morning. Okay. So over here on the Rolling Stone, sir, uh, quote, a shitstorm. Astrologers say election day's blood moon eclipse spells chaos. I love chaos. Chaos is great. You can sometimes ride chaos all the way to a successful ending. Did you know that? Like, you try to plan things out, something's going to go wrong. But if you're like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, I'm just going to go with it. You can just ride.
Chaos is a fundamental action in physics. I mean, it just is. You have to have chaos. That has to be there as an explanation.
I've been thinking a lot about this word chaos lately. Not a lot. I mean, like a little bit. Very frequently. I've been thinking about the kind of way that I tend to manage that the Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I'm like, I'm not gonna control people. I'm not really trying to control people, and I kind of like end up shaking things up sometimes. But and I'm trying to get everybody to just have a pleasant place to be. But I think about this word chaos, and I think about like your Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Isn't there like 9 different like personality types or something? There's like lawful good and all of that. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to determine exactly what I would be, but I think I would be like chaotic good.
You would be you'd pretty much be lawful good.
You think so?
You have a set of rules that you follow, and you don't like to deviate from those rules.
Right. But I also don't follow anybody else's rules.
Right. That doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Oh, okay. All right.
You have a set of goals and a set of rules that you follow, and that would make you
Okay.
lawful. Now some lawful would also respect the other laws of the land. If you go into a place and they have a different law, well, you would respect that law. Chaotic just don't give two craps. Just don't give a flip.
Yeah. See, I find myself to be rather. See, I mean, I find myself to be rather like dismissive, especially
which is exactly right. Yeah, which is exactly right. I mean that would fall into it. Taoism says that chaos is going to happen, that you don't buck against it. Why fight against chaos? Because it's going to happen. So just flow around it and flow with it.
I don't know.
And that's the philosophy that I try most to adhere to, and my fuse that's this big doesn't allow me to, because I let chaos affect me all the time. especially this damn show. This show is the highest stress point in my life.
No.
I don't get as fired up about anything in my day as I do about crap on this show. I'm serious.
But
I don't want to go back and watch these shows because if I do,
oh, you
I'll probably
should
drop
not.
out of
You
the
should
show.
definitely not do that.
Yeah, I would probably drop out of the show forever.
I mean, our listeners should. Our viewers should. You guys, if you have time, go back and run those old episodes. There's I understand. There's a lot of like blah blah blah, but then every once in a while, there's some like, oh my god, that's funny, and some
Or, oh
like
my
real
God,
yuck.
this old man needs to freaking calm his ass down.
Yeah, yeah. Taoism, huh?
Yeah, it's good
I don't
stuff.
know. Oh, okay. Where's Taoism come from?
The East.
Somewhere
It's
nebulous, mysterious over
I think it's
there.
Chinese philosophy. Lao Tzu created
Oh,
Taoism. It's not a religion, it's a philosophy. Some people say it's a religion, and I don't believe it's a religion. It's not a religion, it's a philosophy, it's a way of thinking.
right. Okay.
You can be a Taoist Christian if you wanted to, very easily.
I guess so. Okay.
It's
So
interesting. They say
the
Winnie the Pooh was a Taoist.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, he's very simplistic. He just
Maybe
let
the
things
new Winnie the Pooh that's going to be like a horror slasher movie.
I don't know about that one. That one looks good though.
Uh,
All right, let's move
so-
on. Blood Moon. Yay.
yeah. Oh, well, don't you want to know what the astrologers say? Don't you
get
want to know if this is the
no.
end of the world?
No.
Let's see. This is there's just a couple of astrologers here. Let's see.
Okay.
This one said, nobody asked me, but I would not have picked an eclipse day to have an election on. Historically, eclipses were looked at as bad omens. Definitely not times to do major things.
Historically, people thought we used to fall off the side of the world too when we sailed too far. So
Did
next.
people really think that? Okay. Tally Udit is nervous. No matter which way it goes, there's an eruptive quality to it. Eruptive.
Wow, what a generalized, generic statement to say. Thank you, Tally Edmund. You have blown my mind with this
Oh,
philosophical.
Deacon, I now think that we should check our fortunes as well. So I'm gonna I'm gonna look up the horoscope.
To be
of
honest, I'm
today.
very nervous. No matter which way it goes, there is an eruptive
Yeah.
quality to it.
Let's see. Everyone seems to agree energetically.
Oh,
Everyone.
thank you.
Election day is poised for chaos. It will be a mess, says Sam Reynolds of Unlock Astrology. Quote, a shit show. Zoe Cardiff of Triple Goddess agrees. Contested results, too close to call, recounts, disagreements on the outcome, everyone being really pissed off. And
Wow. What inside
these people are
that's like
psychic.
when you interview anybody at the end of a basketball game and he's like, coach told us to work hard and we work hard out there and we just go out there as a team and we work together as a team and we go get the job done. They say every time.
Deacon, when's your birthday? What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini. Can you believe that there's two of me? That there's a good deacon and a bad deacon? Does that answer so many questions for you now that I'm a Gemini?
You are.
I'm serious. That doesn't that answer questions? There are good deacon and bad deacon.
I'm going to put your face up here so that people can see your reaction to your. Okay, so, today. This is your horoscope, Deacon. I haven't looked at a horoscope in like 40 years, 30 years.
Good God.
Tonight's social event will be right up your alley.
Oh, my rehearsal for a Christmas Carol? Okay.
Okay. The atmosphere is fun and festive, but not so wild that you can't have a civilized conversation.
Oh, with the 2 adults and the 18 children that won't stop screaming through the rehearsal. Okay, that sounds A-okay, straight on so far.
Deacon, you might be surprised how many interesting people you meet tonight. It's exciting to take home so many positive impressions from new names and faces, some of whom may come to be quite important to you. Today will be a day that will most likely have a special bearing on your future.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
mark this day down?
Circle it on your calendar.
Do you think that maybe people thought that maybe a lot of people were going to election parties or some shit tonight, so they would write some generalized bullshit to kind of fit everything? Maybe.
I don't know. Let's see if mine's any better. It says, I, maybe expecting some out of town visitors. I am not. I
Election
am not.
party?
Well,
These are all
we have
generalized for somebody going to an election party.
visitors on the internet, maybe. Happy as you are about their impending arrival, you may be on the verge of feeling overwhelmed that all that remains to be done. Hey, that's spot on. Do you know how much planning I've done for this election watch
Wow.
party?
Do you
Not
know
enough.
how much people in general, at 90% of the population of America, are behind in planning something, JJ?
And
I'm
that's the
behind
point.
in like 15.
Man, you can just take these things apart, huh?
I did
There's
this
no
shit
magic,
for a
no mystery.
living. I did this shit for a living for freaking the radio station, dude.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is what we
It's
did for fun, man.
yeah.
Rearrange words and make it
All
so
right.
general that it fit
I feel like
everybody.
I feel like you may be poo-pooing upon
I am.
the arts of the psychics here.
You don't believe okay, now let me say this. I do believe that there has been and probably is alive now people that do have some sort of gift. I don't know what it is. I'm not I'm saying I do believe that people have lived and probably are alive now that do have a legitimate gift.
Okay.
Those people are a lot fewer than are what are advertised to us. The people that
Oh,
are
for sure.
advertised to us, 99.99999% of those are fake, completely fake. The John I talk to dead people guy. Oh my God, what was that
That
guy
dude's so
say?
fake.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, he's a great con man.
Oh,
That
he
is a cold
was.
reading. That dude is amazing at doing cold reads.
Mhm. And there's so many things that you can generally that the general public will fit into anyway if you just
Right.
figure out the right way to say it. That's how we used to do it on the radio. Almost said my call letters.
Yeah.
It was 96.9. Well, so we used to do it on there. We used to try to how can we word that to not just fit the 30-year-old moms, but how can we fit everybody with that sentence?
Right.
Okay, well, let's call it this and say it this way. And that's how we did it, and it worked. So, if I can get you to think of it without me saying it, that was the
Right.
key. That was the goal, was to get you to think it without me saying it.
All right. Well, I guess I agree with you that con men are. I mean, like it's just a bunch of garbage. And now people that have gifts,
Mhm.
how much of that is like, oh, that's a brain tumor, or
Right, or
that's like that's people with like mental health issues, but
so it's
while
real.
the rest of us, normal people build A to B cause effect logical associations and structure our brains as we grow and develop. We structure our brains so that we can observe and predict reality around us. We train ourselves to be um, to be analytical in a sense, or so that we can navigate this world and not trip and set the world on fire, but like so that we can have expectations and determine our goal, have goals, have driven outcomes. Most of us train ourselves that way, but then there's some people that just either can't train themselves that way, or like whatever is going up in their noodle, and they're able to take in the same information that you're able to take in, but process it subconsciously or something and arrive at a totally different conclusion. Maybe not logical, but sometimes right. So maybe it's just like brain tumors or
You're blowing
something
my
like that.
mind, man. Let's go to the next
I
one.
don't know.
Hey, who knows? I mean, do we use all of our brain? No. Are we discovering new stuff all the time that blows our mind and
How
changes
do
the way
we?
that we think about physics and what we know? Yeah, it happens every day. I hear about stuff that's like, oh, the whatever Webb telescope has discovered something that's making us change the way that we think about this, or or the
All right.
CERN collider has discovered that these little particles disappear. Where the frick do they go? We're discovering stuff all the time. So in 30 years, it's going to be like, hey, did you know that humans actually have the ability to do this in their brain? And we just have to activate this and do this. And it might be anything that, it might be something like we can see sound, with the sense of whatever people that have it mixed up in their brain where they hear colors.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
those people, that's
They
real.
just
That's a real
yeah, I
thing. And
mean,
so
that's
so what
they're
if we
getting
discover how to change that in our brain so that you, JJ, could put this thing on and let you hear colors? Wouldn't that be cool?
coming soon
I don't think that's a wild thing to think
to
that
a
that's
science lab near you. You can modify your brain so that you can hear sounds, but
do
you
you
can also
think?
get eaten by a predator.
Well, I mean, giant plants could
Whoops.
get you too. Alright.
Yeah, yeah. So now I don't want you to get too relaxed. You should still be worrying about Armageddon, Deacon. It's still we still very well may have the end of the world like today. It's possible. For instance, I'm going to pick up on a story we covered last week. North Korea, North Korea says that missile launch practices are to attack South Korea and the United States. You remember what's that?
Sorry, I was just singing.
Um, you
So
remember last week when North Korea shot like 23 ballistic missiles and stuff out into the ocean, and South Korea got mad, and then our U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin vowed to end the regime of the North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un if he deployed nuclear weapons. You know, because we'd like to just ratchet up tensions more in the Biden administration. So North Korea responded with this statement that the military, let's see, here it is. Their response was, our response will be more thorough and merciless as the provocative military maneuvers of the enemies persist. And this will become the unwavering principle and direction of our armed forces in the future. General Staff of North Korea's military said, according to state media. The military also pledged to respond to the enemy's all kinds of anti-North Korea war exercises with continuous, resolute, and overwhelming practical military measures. North Korea says, hey, we're going to shoot you if you keep this up. So we could be right on the verge of North Korea causing World War III.
I'm scared. Look at me shaking.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No.
Hey, we're very close to some sort of. I mean, like there's so much conflict in the world
The end
right
of
now
the
that
world
doesn't
is
have to be.
nigh. That old guy's been
There you go.
has been holding up that sign since the Roman ages, hadn't he?
Yeah, but like, look, if you keep that cardboard sign on
Yeah. Yeah.
every day,
Right. It's eventually going to
sooner or
happen.
later,
You're right.
yes,
2, 3,
exactly.
4, 5,000 years.
And then
It's
and then
eventually
you
going,
can write a book and be like, I told you so. I told you it was coming.
and then
I was right.
I
You
can
guys made fun
actually
of me.
define what I meant by the end of the world to where I could spin it to mean anything that I wanted. You know?
Oh yeah.
The end of the world. You assume what I'm meaning when I say end of the world, JJ. Maybe the end of my world is different than the end of your world.
Um. Uh. Hmm. What would the end of the world look like? I don't know. I don't know.
The end of my world doesn't even contain a bomb. I mean,
I don't think it does either.
you could do a
I
couple
don't
of
think the end of your world. I live in Houston. If somebody's catching
thinking
a bomb, it's
we're we're
probably me.
we're thinking two different things. Actually, I live on a very huge target for terrorism is what, has always been told to us in this area. I live on a, it's actually probably about 10 miles from where I sit, Kentucky Dam, and Kentucky Dam holds back
Mm,
Kentucky Lake. Kentucky Lake is the second largest man-made body of water this side of the Mississippi, and and it holds a lot of water. And if Kentucky Dam blew, it would destroy a lot of stuff. So we were always told after 9/11 that Kentucky Dam was, you could see the increased security and stuff
right.
for a while because it was a very big deal. We have a very, very huge waterway in our area that does a lot of money.
So Jeremy has some comments on this stuff. He says that North Korea is a CIA client state and they are not a serious threat. I don't feel like North Korea is a serious threat. I said
No,
last week that this kind of stuff is how they do. This is how they do their annual negotiations to get stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot a bunch of missiles, and then they're like, "We'll stop this if you send us some food." Okay.
We want Windows 95 bunch
Yeah.
copy.
We want computers. Yeah. He also says that World War III will be started by China, and it's the sixth trumpet of revelation. Uh, might be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you can know stuff like that. Like, I just don't think anybody can know stuff like that. Obviously, you can know what's written down, but doesn't it say that the time and the place and the manner won't be known by men? So you can't really. You can guess, but it's just a guess. Let's see. What do we got left in here? I saw this yesterday morning after our show, and I was like, "These mother effers!" All right, look at me,
I know.
self-censor.
I've only cussed like one time this morning too.
I'm
One or once
trying.
or
I'm
twice. I'm
trying.
trying to. I felt bad.
This made me so mad. I saw this tweet by Jack Posobiec.
I love him.
Jack Posobiec is so great.
He's funny.
Promo code POSO. He tweeted this out, so I've got it here. I've got the original tweet. It's from Politico. It's a tweet from Politico. This is Politico. They said the 2020 presidential election was rife with allegations of voting machine hacks that were later debunked. Yet, there are real risks that hackers could tunnel into voting equipment and other election infrastructure to try to undermine Tuesday's vote. They said 2020 election fraud, hacks, allegations, concerns, all debunked. They were nothing. But today, since the Democrats are going to lose, they're a real concern, and everybody should be worried about hacking and infrastructure and cheating and voting equipment being susceptible to being manipulated. Politico, you absolute total hacks, you two-faced, duplicitous, lying sons of bitches. They were real concerns in 2020, and nobody took the concern seriously. And the systems are still vulnerable, yes, but probably not to the point where it flips elections. So, anyway, Deacon was on the air the whole time. He didn't even hear this amazing story. So people responded with Molly Hemingway. She's amazing. I don't have words for how much I utterly loathe our propaganda press. And I don't know David Gillio. So hacking these machines was impossible in 2020 when Biden won. However, now that Democrats are about to get their butts kicked, it's magically possible for these machines to get hacked and manipulated. Got it. When Republicans lose, the term for it is election deniers. When Democrats lose, it's election fraud. So, Deacon, I know you were on the air the whole time. It was this. Did you see this tweet? 2020 presidential election rife with allegations of voting machine hacks that were debunked. But tomorrow, hackers could tunnel into a voting equipment and election infrastructure to undermine the vote.
So yeah, it was debunked when it was us, but now that
yes,
it's that's funny. They do that all the time. If you'll look, you just people don't pay attention. They're like, they have these 15-second memories. I don't even say goldfish memory because I think we've proved that wrong. That goldfish have longer memories than that. But you can say one thing one day and then go and say something completely different the next day, and only a handful of people are going to see it. You know, the majority of the people, it's already done its damage to.
Right. All right. I got one more political kind of thing here. I saw this morning on Just the News, justthenews.com, which is just news.
Just the news.
Just the news. So it's never padded. Submerge. I've never heard of this term before. Submerge voters. Are the voters who are going to flip the country red, prominent pollster says. A group of voters who are not being polled, maybe the Republicans' ticket to taking the House back. So this lady, stop that. I wish that I could get rid of this video thing. Although, if you look at this video, you will see our nice logo right here and jjw.locals.com where you can join and become a fun slinger.
You're a special kind of narcissist.
Support our show. Yeah, listen, I know that I'm a narcissist. I know it. It's something's happening here. I don't know what.
Why is everybody's doors open?
I have no idea. They weren't open a minute ago. I don't know.
They haven't come into here to see you.
They have not. Okay, I guess my kids are up and their doors are open. So prominent Trafalgar Group pollster Robert Cahaley says there's a group of people who are not being polled who will inevitably vote for Republican candidates. I think there's a segment of Republicans since Biden's speech that are what I call submerged voters who are not showing up in anybody's polling. These people aren't taking polls at all because they're convinced the Biden administration has criminalized political thought and political behavior. They are very worried that these polls will serve as a de facto list of MAGA Republicans, and they don't want anyone to know. They don't want to be canceled. They don't want to be investigated. They don't want to be audited. I don't know how many of these voters are out there because I can't pull these up and they won't take the polls. I've estimated it could be as many as half a point to all the way up to 5% of the electorate. If that group of submerged voters is as big as I think it could be, you could be talking north of 30. Cahaley stated. For the Senate, I think that's a little exaggerated. I think that we're going to naturally win 2 seats. And again, if that wave is as big as I think it could be, then you could be talking 55 seats. That he's talking Senate seats. But I think 2 is what I'd say we're going to get, and anything else is just going to be a little bigger. It just depends. So do you think that there are submerged voters that are concealing their conservative natures? My wife says, of course there are. My wife says, yes, that's true. There are.
It's unpopular to be conservative, even if that's your beliefs.
She says it's if it's unpopular to be conservative, you're going to conceal it. You're not going to hide it.
She's right. I've done that for a long time with people.
Yeah.
Is I will not say how I feel. I will keep my mouth shut about certain things around certain people and certain places that, and yeah, I hide it as well. I used to, I don't so much anymore.
Right. A little bit less now. I don't get on Facebook, but when I was on Facebook, like years ago, people on the left would always be like, talk, anti-Trump, whatever, anti-Republican, whatever. And I never said anything. I just kept it all, kept it on a deal.
Conservatism is demonized, at least in academia.
In academia, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So this is a pretty valid theory, but it's not one you could substantiate with like data because like they avoid data. But this is not a new notion. Back when I was studying polling back in grad school, Republicans were always difficult to poll because Republicans have always been skeptical of polling and will intentionally tank the poll. They'll give the wrong answers or they'll avoid taking the polls because we don't believe it, because they, the not me, but like Republicans are like skeptical. So they're like, I'll just give you wrong answers.
Yeah. I have.
Yeah, of course. So yeah. All right. Well, today's the day. Tonight's the night. We're going to have an after party show tonight. We'll have to see what's going on. I was thinking yesterday that we may not win Georgia. It might go to a split, like runoff decision. And if it goes into a runoff decision, then we'll have lost momentum because the Georgia seat may have to go have voters turn up again on December 3rd or something like that. So the Georgia is I'm a little that's one of the ones that I'm definitely watching. I did have one other story. It's not super interesting, but we can go out with this, I guess. The Mandalorian star, Pablo.
Yeah, Pablo.
Pedro. Sorry, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that's right.
Pedro Pascal of The Mandalorian himself.
Oh no, he got fact checked.
Yeah, he got fact checked.
I like the fact that they're doing all that like every time Joe Biden says something.
Did you see that?
Like,
I didn't. I should pull
like
that up.
every time they're like, actually, Joe.
Actually, I think that's in this. I think that's in this story. So Pedro Pascal posted this tweet yesterday. Look at this: Germany, 1944. # This is America. America, 2018. We have Jewish women and children, it looks like, behind barbed wire in a concentration camp. And here in America, 2018, we have little brown children in cages. Oh, wait, hold on. Twitter says readers added context they thought would be helpful. This photo is actually Palestinian children at a soup kitchen in 2010. Stop
scrolling. Stop scrolling.
I'm sorry.
No, I can barely read it anyway.
Yeah, here.
Read the rest of it.
Zip. How's that? To present this as kids in cages during a particular presidential administration is misleading and could lead people to believe it is true.
Oh, okay.
So those Twitter, tags, like every story has been for the last 2 years has been getting tagged and fact checked on Twitter.
This is one of the tricks that they've just used it in visual form instead of audio form that I was just talking about. Is
make you think something.
I can make you think something without actually saying it. So what I did is what we would do in audio or something. We could rearrange news stories to place a certain news stories up against other news stories to make
get that contrast to happen.
Mind in that.
Yeah.
So what I've done here is I've placed this picture and made it very prominent, black and white, so you can obviously look at it and see that.
Yeah. And you
automatically look at that and think Holocaust, even if it's not Holocaust. You automatically look at it and think Holocaust, and your heart goes out.
Visceral, emotional, rhetorical
so that's where I want
reaction.
That's where I want your emotions when I actually show you another picture and say something false underneath it, so I can get you to believe it. I get you already. You're already emotional, so when you feel it, you're like, "Oh my God!" Retweet, retweet. Look at this. And that's all I want you to do and you've spread that misinformation. That's all I've wanted you to do. And I didn't even do anything.
I see here that Pedro Pascal has the mental illness flag too. He put his pronouns in his.
Did you see the GoFundMe for AOC? They're trying to raise $8 so that she can keep her check.
I saw that. Here is let's see. Here is the one you were talking about. This is a retweet or a quote tweet or whatever from Election Wizard, but there's the POTUS right there. So President Biden said, let me give you the facts, Jack. In 2020, 55 corporations made $40 billion and they paid zero in federal taxes. My Inflation Reduction Act puts an end to this. And then Twitter tagged it and it says, here, let me zoom in. Zoom. Enhance. The Inflation Reduction Act imposed a minimum tax on corporations with an average pre-tax earnings greater than $1 billion. Out of the 55 corporations this tweet references, only 14 had earnings greater than $1 billion that would be eligible under Biden's tax law. So, apparently Joe Biden's White House is getting fact checked. There was a tweet they had the other day about the White House put out, I think we covered it the other day. The White House put a tweet out that said that Social Security recipients were going to get bigger checks than ever before. And it turns out that was also because of inflation, because cost of living has gone up 8%. So, and then they pulled that tweet down because it got flagged. It got tagged and flagged too. So I don't know if I even I didn't really ever want tweets. I guess this is tagged, right? Tagged by Twitter. I didn't want them tagged 2 years ago or last year, and I don't really want them tagged now. I think that we should all have the operating assumption that everybody's lying to us on Twitter rather than think. So this creates the false sense of security that somebody's out there making sure you're not being lied to. I think that we should all go through the entire day thinking that people are lying to us, especially this guy, because he's out there saying stuff to a big audience. So, Pedro, you should maybe think about the fact that you're being lied to, and then you're communicating that out to other people. That's just my thoughts on things. I'm working a little bit over time, I'm working a little bit on this idea of the right to lie. I think that you should be able to lie to the cops. I think maybe I'm not. I don't know. But maybe you should be able to lie to the cops. You should be able to lie to the feds. You should just be able to lie to people.
They're allowed to lie to you. I mean, they can straight up lie to your face, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's bullshit.
But you have been imbued with this conviction that if you lie to people, it's you're doing something wrong.
Morally wrong.
So that and yeah, maybe it is wrong, but that's being used against you.
What did powers
to be.
What did I say? I think it was to my brother the other day. He said something. I was like, if you do that, that's going to go down on your permanent record, dude. Remember them saying that?
Yeah.
This is going to go on your permanent record. Those two, that sounds really scary, those two words. This is your permanent record, JJ. It's going to go on it.
I just think, I don't know. I think that maybe the right to lie should be like a valid legal defense. Like if you get on trial and they're like this or that, and you're like, well, I lied. and then the jury would have to be like, oh, well, he lied.
Oh, he gets one mulligan.
Yeah, I lied. I lied about that. Yeah, the cops had me. I mean, for real. Because you get arrested, you get put in the tank. They leave you there for like 4 hours, and you're hungry and need a bottle of water. They bring you something to trick you into feeling like you owe them something, and then you confess or say something that they take as a confession, because you just want to get out of the room, right? Well, I think that especially in those kind of situations, you should be able to, when you're at trial, you should be like, I was in that room, I was sweating, and I just lied. I lied to get out of there. And nobody should be like, make you feel bad about it. They should be like, I mean, I would lie to get out of there too. I mean, if I'm uncomfortable, I will tell people things that are not true so that I can leave. So anyway, I think we should just, I don't know. I'm mulling it over a long period of time. This kind of like right to lie. I don't know. Okay. That's all I really got this morning. We'll be back tonight. Don't exactly know the time because my kids decide what time I start my show.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, Jeremy says this is what they got Martha Stewart on for lying, right? You should definitely be allowed to lie to the cops if they're accusing you of something.
Every time I see Martha Stewart in anything or on anything, it's just, I don't know. I have a lot of respect for that woman now for some reason, you know?
Do you know how old Martha Stewart is?
I don't care. She's
how old would you guess that Martha Stewart is?
70s.
She's probably in her late 70s. Early 70s. No, she's in her early 70s. 72. My dad's 72.
I saw this the other day. I can't remember the name. Martha Stewart is 81 years old.
Whoa, holy crap.
Yes.
She was born in the
kidding.
40s?
Yeah, and she looks like she's 60 or something.
She does. She looks really good.
Yeah. No, 81. I saw that. I don't know how I saw a Martha Stewart bit.
Like I saw her in a commercial. It might have been a Snoop Dogg commercial or something like that.
Right.
Every time I see her, I'm just like, I like Martha. Remember? Yeah. Back in the day when we were younger, you really didn't think anything about it. You go into Kmart and you see all of her stuff. But now that I'm in my middle 40s, I'm like, where can I get some Martha Stewart stuff? Right. I kind of want some.
Manuel, I've got a list of when, to answer your question, sir, Manuel, I have a list of when the states are closing polls tonight. Some states have some polls closing at one time and other polls closing at another time. But we're going to start getting polls closing tonight about 6 p.m. Eastern, and then every like half hour, some other polls are going to close. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get returns back because some of them will be, they'll be able to call the races and some they won't. So I'm planning to start tonight's election party like around 8 p.m. And then we'll review the polls that have already closed, and then we'll watch them as they come in and see if anything changes.
Oh, the new normal's already happened with the It's day 5, and we still don't know.
Yeah,
Remember?
right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the new normal. I'm already
We have to
predicting that.
stop that. That
Oh,
kind
no,
of
that's
stuff is gonna
already
get us.
it's already started, and you just mark my words. Mark my words.
We have to. I mean, there's no reason. It doesn't make sense. If you walk into the poll, it takes you 2 seconds, like a minute to vote. Count the vote right then. Just count it right then.
You're preaching to the choir, brother. I'm
Well,
with
I guess if you want to have a more sane reality with less mail-in voting and less shenanigans and a federal day off, then you gotta probably vote red. Because Republicans don't want early voting for 3 months. It's a lot of work. Why don't we just go to election day one day? All right.
a lot of ways to cheat when you vote 3 months out and
No
mail.
kidding.
I mean, I'm just pointing out. I'm not
Oh.
saying that it is. I'm saying that the possibility of cheating increases mathematically when you do that.
I'm over here advocating for lying. I'm advocating for you to have the right to lie. And you should assume other people are going to lie. And if there's a system that allows people to cheat, hello, you took math in high school. If there's a system that allows people to cheat, you should just assume that somebody's going to cheat. So yeah, there was a photo 2 weeks ago. I didn't put that on the store. I didn't put it on the show. There was a mail truck that caught on fire, and that story was like, there might have been ballots on board. There might have been mail-in ballots on there.
I want to addend what you say. You said you should assume that people will cheat.
Yeah.
You're an idiot if you assume people won't cheat. You're doing yourself a disservice by assuming that people will not cheat, because people are going to cheat. That's
now. What
the
is
sun
that?
is going to come up tomorrow, and people are going to cheat.
And you know what they'll do? They'll say there was cheating, but then they'll fact check it as not true, because they'll put on extra words on their question, like massive voter fraud, or widespread voter fraud. You don't need widespread voter fraud. You need like voter fraud in like one race to flip that one seat, and that's so it's targeted. But they're not. They use language to make you think things that aren't true. Don't trust anybody. Just don't trust anybody. Trust no one. That's the best thing that you can do. All right.
Trust the lizard people living under the ground. They control us
especially all. Especially the lizard people.
The lizard people control us all. Do you know that? We're just cattle. We're workers.
Aren't they cold? Like, the lizards are cold-blooded, and they'd be underground. It'd be like really cold.
Rain, JJ. It's warm under the ground. Come on. I gotta go. I got 20 seconds before.
Yeah, we gotta go. See you later, everybody. Here's the outro video. Hey, make sure to go to rumble.com. Watch the show on rumble.com. Not YouTube. Also YouTube, but rumble.com. And go be a fun slinger. It's fun. Slinging fun. I can't find the outro video. I'm trying to cover it up while I go. Here we go. Bye, everybody.